Come on, everybody, let's start the show. A quick ahoy hoy and away we'll go. Richard's got a minifig and Flynn's got a pin. The gang's all here and it's time to begin. Tricky Bricks roll call. Moto, Holly, Cara, and sometimes Blair, Clicky, Logan, Ms. Thing and Angela, and Thunderman Ho! Now you're here to grab your bricks and let's go to the Tricky Bricks Build and Chat Show!
Oh, haha, just like the old days. No sound.
I don't even know how that happens. It's all automatic.
Ahoy, hoy, friends.
Ahoy, hoy.
No, there's like all these weirdo things that you have to do. And like, so fun.
Well,
anyway.
We're happy to see you even when we're miming it.
Happy to see you. All right. Anyway, hope you are having a good Sunday. It's been a weekend so far. I've been.
It has. It's been an arts and crafts weekend, hasn't it?
It has. It has. We built, not that you can tell from this distance, but we've built more on our Lego house piece.
Yeah, and sort of the undersea Atlantis section, and
Richard had a reunion with 2 high school friends yesterday.
Yeah, I hadn't seen them in years. Actually, it may be as much as 8 years, but we might have run into one another since. It was great to see them from high school, and that was I graduated in 1984. Flynn's younger than
I graduated in 19
before the turn of the century. It was a while ago. It was great to see them. We used to be best pals and hang out and get involved in not really such bad hijinks.
Wow. And then I hung out with the inimitable Tim Heydrich yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Who is an awesome Lego builder. And I think if you saw the show on Friday, you'll know he has designed a lot of the Bricks LA models that you get for going to the convention. And he's really fantastic guy. Lives like a 10-minute walk from us and moved in like 5 minutes before lockdown started. So we haven't really gotten a chance to hang out with him. So it was great. Fired up the resin printer finally, and have had multiple failed prints. Not yet a one that works, but we're working on it. It'll get there, I'm sure.
It's a process. 3D printing is finicky.
Well, what's funny though is everybody I know is always like, I had no problem getting started. I think it's just me and 3D printing. Like I have some kind of like blockade that makes it take me 3 times as long as anyone else to get going, but whatever. Anyway, excited for that. And of course, the first thing I'm printing is my D&D character miniature. And then the second thing I'm printing is a little mini of my favorite Animal Crossing character. So I think that's pretty on brand, right? Like,
and I think it's pretty fun to walk into the kitchen and Flynn is like mask and gloves and,
it's like a science
exhaust fans. It's Dr. Frankenstein in the kitchen.
Anyway,
wow! Look at all these exciting people we have in the green room.
I know. Let's get them out here, shall we? So first, in from the Pacific Northwest, here she is, everyone. It's Holly. Hi, Holly.
Hi, Holly.
Oh, hi. Oh no, I wasn't done opening my bags. I have to.
That's okay. You can crinkle. We're a crinkle zone.
It's a known sound effect.
Exactly.
Like
look at that ASMR.
Oh, excuse me. And
you all right there?
Yes, I'm better. Sorry. And from across the bay, who we'll be seeing in person later on today, it's Minifig Chick. Hi, Cara.
Hi, Cara.
Hi.
Hoi, hoi.
How is everyone?
We're good. We've been up early. We did our daily chores in Animal Crossing. We've had breakfast, built some Lego.
I don't know if I'd call them chores. Not in Animal Crossing.
I enjoy them.
Enjoyable chores. Enjoyable chores.
The best kind.
Yay! It's Isabel.
Very nice.
Isabel.
What? I saw really cute little plushes, Animal Crossing plushes at Target yesterday.
Oh, is there I think I have a KK slider one somewhere. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there were like 2 Tom Nooks. There was an Isabel, and then there were some Links from Zelda in the box.
Oh,
So,
okay. Sure,
Nintendo
why not? It's all
plushies.
Nintendo.
I like calling Link Zelda just to get Flynn. Oh, look, there's Zelda again. He's so cute.
Oh no.
No.
All right, I know Brian's going to have something to say to you about that.
Although,
Now
okay,
you've done it.
Before he tears into you, I'm going to bring on our dear friend from Lego Masters Season 2 in the middle right-hand side of the United States. It is, or no, the middle left, I think. It's Moto. Hi, Moto.
Hello there.
hey, Moto, check out your fancy reading material.
I'm just
Whoa, is that your thing from the crypt for today?
It could, well, I guess this and another thing, but when I had to leave Thursday on Twitch, this was why.
So
Wow. Very cool.
There's the beta one command base and another little spacey secret to show you guys later on.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll take a look at that in just a minute, because in the green room, we have our very special guest. Haven't seen him in a little while, so glad to have him back. It is internet sensation, Bricks O'Brien. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
It's
Hey.
Princess Zelda, not Link Richard, okay? Link and Zelda are 2 separate entities.
Are either of them going to be in the new Smash thing that you were so excited about?
The new Smash thing. Wow.
Wow.
I thought Brian made a video about go-kart things happening with Mario, but I could have been.
Oh, Link's
Maybe it's
already
old.
in it. Yeah,
Okay.
Link's already in it. We're good.
Shows you how much I know about the game.
So are we talking about the new Mario Kart, their characters that they're adding? And I believe wow, it's not even a week yet.
Wow, I don't even know what happened there. Rookie move. I'm so used to the office being able to reach me while on the show.
And now, and so not only are there new racers, but there's new race tracks, right? From from older versions of the game, right?
Yeah, they doubled the amount of courses in the game, and I'm very excited. It's going to be a lot of videos and a lot of late nights playing. So I'm ready for it.
So is this is this like an extension pack, or is it like okay, cool.
Downloadable content, yeah.
Rad. I'm into it. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and also too, I don't know, and I'm sure Brian, you probably already know this because you keep up with all the Nintendo stuff, but just recently, like in the past week or so, Animal Crossing has surpassed Super Mario Brothers as the best-selling video game ever in Japan.
Wow.
I believe it.
Oh, wow.
Ever.
Wow.
Over 10 million copies, I think, in Japan alone. And that is larger in 2 years than the entire lifespan of Super Mario Brothers, which held the crown for a really, really long time.
Wow. Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, I mean, basically, yes, that was like the perfect game at the not so perfect, but then perfect time. So that doesn't surprise me at all.
Right. Well, I mean, so I'm just waiting for that, that Fabuland meets Animal Crossing Lego set that needs to happen.
We've gotten so much Lego news in the past week, but not that news. And
I know
continue
why.
Because
to go to sleep
because
every
of
night.
Angry Birds and the way they got burned on Angry Birds, I would think twice before touching that hot stove.
Oh, okay.
I get it.
It's from Moto. Okay, Moto. Let's hear more about this.
Well, if it takes years and years to develop a set,
Yeah.
and everybody was, loved me those Angry Birds, and then where'd the sets go? Still on the shelf.
No, they went in the recycling bin. But Angry Birds, compared to anything Nintendo,
Yeah, I agree with Brian. I don't think there's much comparison there too. And also part of the reason it flopped is a timing was a big one. Also, there wasn't really a lot of longevity to Angry Birds. It's like it sort of came and went. Animal Crossing's been around for already like over a decade.
20 years.
Yeah. And then
I will say though,
Hmm?
the Angry Birds pirate ship was a really good ship.
Always
Yes.
good sets. I mean,
Well,
they're
every
always,
set is good. I'm not debating that.
always good parts, right? But and then also they made the movie, and the movie didn't do well. And I think the movie is what essentially got Angry Birds on the product shelves. Not so much the game, but the fact that the game became a movie. Then they decided to follow up with the Lego sets, and the timing of all that was.
It's almost like trying
Unfortunate.
to force products of a bad movie goes poorly on shelves. It's crazy. Like,
Figures.
You know, it's almost like making a Lego set of Boba Fett.
yeah, like why would they do that? Like, it's makes no sense. Like,
So there is a I know that the Lego set of Boba Fett will just be a Mandalorian set.
yes, and a little Grogu in the cockpit of the ship, and then where's Boba Fett?
I don't even know where to start there.
Look, Holly should be excited because it's the only way she's going to get a Rancor with all the appropriate colored little prongs.
Okay, for the record, my Rancor does have his original claws. We were able to end up locating them. The whole story was about my son
Your
wanting to
difficulty
play with
finding
it.
them.
And me giving him a good 10-minute lecture about how he should not remove the claws before while he's playing with this thing. And of course, within seconds, all the claws have disappeared. So it took us a while to recover them, and then I had to go buy him a knockoff for him to play with as a decoy.
Your Rancor needs its own presidential motorcade with decoys and armored vehicles and
Behind glass now.
bomb-proof.
Oh my goodness. Well, Brian, would you like to tell us what your big exciting news for Lego sets this week was? Like, what was the thing you were most excited about? You said there's been lots of news this week. So what would you say would be the standout in your mind?
Well, there's a lot of kids on the playground talking all these rumors of things happening in the coming months, but we're not going there. This is not. You can show up to my stream if you want to. But
We don't do rumors.
of the official things that have been unveiled, I gotta hand it to that Jurassic Park set, man.
Indeed. Indeed. And a matter of fact, we're going to take a look at that right now.
I'm not a big Jurassic Park connoisseur, and I have been recently critical about a lot of that's coming out and like what my interests are and all that. That is an objectively, I want to say, almost a flawless Lego set for what it represents and the target audience, how it was executed. We finally got a classic Jeep after 45,000 years of not getting one.
Yes.
And what more could you want?
Right.
Yep.
Hello, Blair. That's what more I could want.
Ahoy, hoy.
Blair.
No, I'm right there with you. That looks amazing. So amazing.
So
Realistic.
Wow.
Oh dear. Okay, hang on a second. I'm getting here over to the old picture here. All right, here it is. That Jurassic Park set that everybody is talking about. All the kids are talking about.
Perfect.
Between that and the trailer drop, I actually had to rewatch the original movie last night, and it's got some huge flaws that I see now as an adult, but it's still such an awesome film.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say I'm not. Again, this is one of those movies that came out during a time where I had other things going on in my life than see blockbuster movies. I won't go into why because it's kind of sad, but I'm just saying like there were reasons why I kind of missed like a chunk of this. And I gotta say, like as a pompous moviegoer in my 20s, I was like, I don't need to go see any Steven Spielberg blockbuster. I'm gonna go see art films.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't sound like that. Actually, my voice was much higher and gayer than that. But
Wow, I was blown away by the CG in the first Jurassic Park. I was the Brontosaurus, or forgive me if I'm getting the herd of them wrong, but when it first goes and they're driving past all the legs, I was completely blown away, like when I first saw Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, this pretty much.
They actually get the name wrong and then say it correctly in the movie. So you're right in line with actually the Brachiosaurus. Yeah, I was peak target audience for this film, and I remember going and seeing it in the giant theater in DC that now no longer exists, the Upton Theater. And oh my gosh, it was like the best you could get outside of an IMAX, which were still basically just at museums at the time. And
this set also represents one of the greatest VFX scenes ever put down on film.
Oh yeah, and because that was a huge practical effects undertaking, and I don't know if you haven't seen the behind the scenes of that particular moment in the film, but it was nigh disastrous and still turned out some of the coolest ever captured.
Well, and I do agree, like, although I am not the target audience and I'm not super into Jurassic Park, this set has so much going on. Just the action that those broken wire, like that broken fence gives, with them leaning back, and then the broken fence, the upside down car. I mean, there's just so much great action going on in this in a way that you don't often see that kind of action. This definitely gives has a mock feeling to it, like something you might see at a convention. It's really fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this pretty much launched my interest in movies. So
really,
I'm also the target audience.
Wow. I was just looking and it came out in 1993. Yeah,
we won't talk about how old I was then, but it was long before I actually started going to school to make movies. But this was kind of the beginning of that interest for me.
You looked over the rails of your crib, and there it was.
Oh, Jim.
That young. I was old enough to be able to go to the movie by myself, just barely.
Oh, okay. All right then.
Barely. It was actually, again, like Blair said, I think we're probably about the same age. It was like that. I was kind of the peak target audience of. I'll just disclose, I was 13, so I was like 13, and like I said, just kind of starting to show some interest in like computers and computer graphics, and like pretty much from that point on, I got more and more into like, graphic design, computer graphics, and then on to animation and visual effects, etc. So I really can like pinpoint it to there. Like, I want to make movies. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
So, Mr. Rex, how do you feel about starring in another Lego set?
6 digits up.
If your tiny arms are long enough to reach the camera. Oh my God. All right. Well, I can see where this is going. So
downhill.
Exactly. Really fast. All right, friends. So actually, it is about time, because we kind of jumped past it over to the Lego news, but it's time for pins, everybody. It's time for pins. So while we're doing pins, make sure that you're going in and saying hello in the chat so that we populate that chat list when it's time to say hi to everybody. So what do we got? Who's got pins? I know Cara is always ready to go with the pins. So here we go. I
have approximately 12 million of them.
Yes.
I have. Today I thought I would be cheerful. I have little Chibi Alice.
Oh, I love that one. I have that one too. It's so cute.
Oh, that is cute.
Love that one. I got a Peter Pan like that as well. Very good. Holly.
All right. I'm running out of pens. I'm going to have to move on to something else next time. But while we're going all retro, we'll go back to He-Man and Skeletor.
Yay!
Best friends.
Very cool. Nice.
So shiny. I'm sorry, it's so shiny.
Very good. Moto.
Well, I've got a great pin set here. It's themed appropriately for the holiday. It says "You and me equals glitter."
That's adorable.
I love it.
Fries
Cupid.
before guys. Wow.
And Cupid
It
is stupid.
Old.
Very nice.
So I think that's a great pin set for today.
It is. Blair.
I also am going to do something a little bit different. So at Rose City Comic Con, when I was running around and looking at vendors, I decided to spend my money on something a little bit more functional. So they're from Heroes Armory, and they are keys, super nerdy keys that look like fictional blades. And so I got a gun blade from Final Fantasy. Wow, they're changing the light a lot. I don't know what's up.
Yeah, they are.
There we go. You can see it better.
That is amazing.
And the sword that was broken, and I have yet to get it cut for my keys because I have a perfectly functional key here. But they really sold me on this one because it was really hard to choose because they had like Master Swords and He-Man and everything. But he was like, this one, while the other ones all kind of come up short for the blades, you know, a Master Sword would still only be about this long. It's when it's cut, it looks like the broken sword. So it actually works really well.
That's
pretty
cool.
That is cool.
Yeah,
All right,
super fun.
Brian.
Keeping in the spirit of doing something different, I have 4 pins.
Whoa.
Shameless self promo here. These are pins that I have had made for my recent project that I've had.
Oh,
Children's book.
great.
Cute.
Oh, I love the parrot.
Yeah.
So cute. I mean, I
So
love
it's
all of
the-
them, but the parrot and the kitty cat are awesome.
Pin set of 4. So yeah, all in one thing there. But yeah, I think they're pretty cool. But then again, I'm very biased. So
they're
my
pretty
pins
cool.
for the day.
Indeed.
Confirmed.
All right, here we go. You're in. Oh, I guess it's our turn. All right.
Yep. All right. I've got the Incredible Hulk today.
Oh, he's very cute.
Baby Incredible Hulk.
He's like Funko Hulk. And then I have one that Richard gave me on our recent trip to Disneyland. I think you traded for this one, right?
Yep.
Because it's an older one. I have Mary Poppins Weather Vane.
Nice.
There's like a little weather
winds
vane
are
series.
changing.
I do love me some Mary Poppins. I gotta say, I'm a big Mary Poppins fan.
That one's classy.
Yeah, it is, right?
We were laughing about Mary Poppins because if you watch it, she is so mean.
She's so mean
yeah.
to her kids. Oh my god, she's like, hey, let's go have a fantasy where we get on carousel horses that turn real, and then we're like in a race. And then they talk to her about it later, and she's like, that never happened, and if you keep talking, I'm gonna call the police. Like, she literally threatens to call a policeman on them if they don't stop talking about the crazy stuff that she just did with them. I was like,
So
wow,
maybe it's cover for what they actually did while she was babysitting, and it was like some horrific little like side quest that she took them on, and it was dangerous. She told them that it was this like happy adventure, and she'd just take this medicine and it'll be a happy adventure. And they're all like,
oh,
wow.
okay, now.
It's a very twisted version. By the way, I have to highlight Wilfred's comment about He-Man and French is Musclor.
Yes, Musclor. I'm all about Musclor. Oh my goodness. Well, hey, let's say hi to everybody who's in the chat real quick. We've got Apples is here from Europe. Axel Plate is here. Brick Jedi, Brickaroo Bonsai, Carolyn CCCCCCC, Fabufan MKE, Heather Miraz, Hooded One. Did somebody else pop in there too? Nope. Jeff Kremer is here. Joel is tired of Baby Yoda saving a bad show. always a rabble rouser. John Luttrell and Vicky, hello. We've got Lisa Head, Matthew Builds Bricks, Minifig Chick, Minifig Nick, and Moto. Oh, no Monica Berry in there. That was that's weird. You know, like we say Kim at the end, I always feel like we have to put Monica Berry and then Moto.
Monica, wherever you are.
It's like the period on the end of the sentence. We've got Patrick
here earlier.
Here, Phil Carlton, Rob Zaccardi and the Zaccardis. Hello, Lana, Elena, and Vanessa. How's it going? We got Socks Rule. The Jammy Bricker is here. And Wilfred, and of course, Wilfred. And hello to Kim Zarakino, wherever you may be. Welcome, everybody. Ken Olson, I just saw, said hello as well.
And if you're just lurking, welcome too.
All right. Well, Monica is here. Good. So Brickham's Dan is here too. Hello. Everybody's showing up. So Matthew built.
Wow,
bricks.
I hear bricks being sorted, shuffled about.
What bricks are you shuffling today, Holly?
Oh, me. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that I have not yet finished the Home Alone house, so I'm trying to wrap this one up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
No,
I have a lot of like half-started sets that.
No, I'm sure no one here can relate to that. That's never happened to anyone ever.
Nope.
No, definitely not.
I just finished shuffling my bricks. I built these
Oh,
sunflowers.
Oh, those are
Oh
cool.
yes, while repetitive, I thought they looked really pretty in the end, and I thought the use of the kayak paddle as the pedals was really smart.
So I got these for my mother's birthday because she's not a Lego person, but she loves sunflowers. So I got the sunflowers. I'm always a fan of buying flowers that don't die after a week. So I'm like, okay, I'll get you these. My only complaint, and I guess it's for the size, right? Sunflowers are usually as big as your head. So like I would have loved to have had larger sunflowers, but they'd be even more repetitive. So I get why they did this. They're still very, very satisfying and very cool.
Well, I think too, if they would have done them really, really big, they would have been hard to integrate into the already existing flowers. That you know what I mean.
And there are some like
trying to find a
miniature
pot.
varieties, but
Right.
we are.
Yeah.
I mean, you're definitely used to the like a whole bag of
like
sunflower
huge.
seed
Right.
size.
These ones are like the palm of my hand, basically.
Am I missing the mark here, or could you do a really good Hannah Montana cosplay with those sunflowers?
Hannah Montana.
So who was it who always had
No,
that?
Blossom.
Blossom had that.
Wow.
Well,
You met her. You got
yeah.
So Brian,
we did meet her. We did meet her.
I got an awkward hug.
I
from
did
her.
not ask her about Blossom though.
No, you
Good for
didn't.
you. Good for you.
I did want to mention that, Brian, those sunflowers are the right size for wild sunflowers, and I have
Yeah,
them
that's
grow in my
fair.
yard, and they are that size. They're just not the cultivated variety. But yeah, the wild sunflowers are about as big as what he has there.
They look great.
Okay, I have to say, when we did, it's kind of like hopping back. When we did meet Mayim Bialik on on Lego Masters, I had to laugh because everybody was like, "Oh my God, it's the girl from The Big Bang Theory," and I'm like, "It's Blossom." There you go.
Yeah.
So now, Brian, you did a shameless self promotion earlier, and it's time for another one. But it's not self promotion because I am genuinely interested, and I'm sure everybody is. Can you please tell us a little bit about your amazing new project with Kevin Hinkle?
Yeah. So I've been
Please
alluding
stream.
for a long time that on my birthday stream, I would unveil a big brand new thing, and that is a children's book that I am the author of, and Kevin Hinkle is the illustrator of. So if you're familiar with Richard and Flynn's artwork in the very beginning of the stream, those were done by Kevin Hinkle. So he's an incredibly talented artist, and the book is called Pro Gamer's Guide to Healthy Habits. It stars the characters that you see on this shirt down here and that were in the pins, and it basically aims to explore what it means to be a professional gamer. So as somebody who's been doing this for over 10 years, I've learned a lot of things about how it's not about sponsored energy drinks, late nights, and practicing constantly. It's about taking care of yourself along the way to do the things that you want to do in life, not just through being a pro gamer. So I wanted to write a children's book that exemplified all that and hopefully enlighten that next generation about like, yeah, you could sit here all day and play games, but that's not what it's all about. So the project was on Kickstarter. I launched it on my birthday stream just over 2 weeks ago. It was successfully funded in 3 hours, which was crazy. And now stretch goals are inbound. People can purchase their copies on the Kickstarter page, which I can link or whatever. It's
Actually,
around.
put it in the private chat, and then I'll post it in here because I'm not quite sure if you can or not, but
Yeah,
I
that's
will
fine.
absolutely do that.
And that's where you can get things like the pin set and the book and all that. Because I saw at least one person ask about the pins, because I know we're all pin people over here. So it's very cool. But yeah, that's available, and that goes until February 26th. And then afterward, I get to work with the publisher on making it an official thing, getting it printed, and then in people's hands, hopefully for July, provided things go smoothly. So any amount of support on it would be appreciated, but the link is in the chats or
incoming. Yes.
I just put it in.
Oh, and I just put it in. Oh, no, I put it in the private chat. Well, thank you, Cara.
Jeez.
Well, listen, Gary, I'm not doing a meeting at Denny's, okay? The next stretch goal is going to be in real life meetups. We're not meeting up at Denny's. We're a little classier than that.
You have to do a book signing at Denny's. You just have to.
What's the Denny's thing? I've missed this.
Anyways.
Well,
it is the Denny's reference.
Brian, I super appreciate that you have done this, because I remember when a Christmas or holiday when we were visiting our nieces and nephews, and there was a point where our nephew was like wanted to go to college and take college courses on playing video games. And you know, like maybe that wasn't like the best idea to choose as like that can't be everyone's career path.
No, and if somebody who's like a young kid wants to do that, that's great, but there are things that you can do to better yourself that translate beyond just being that, and that's what that book is all about. It's not about perfecting the game, and it's about all those other things that make you a well-rounded person rather than just being a pro gamer. And it's not about Brix O'Brien, the character. It's about the message of the book, which is why I'm so passionate about it, and I want to take it as far as it can go, because that message is so important for young people to have, and I want to see it go obviously as far as it can.
That's fantastic, Brian. I'm so glad that you've done that. Seriously, because I have, you know, teaching kids like I did for a while. I've heard that so many times, like that's what they want to do, and everybody, and then they focus on that, and because you know kids get very hyper focused on things, and they forget about the other stuff, you know, like showering and eating.
Literally, like I kind of laughed at myself for putting in the book. I'm like, why am I reminding people to shower? But like. Yeah, you kind of and even like staying hydrated, plenty of water. Like I forget that all the time. You know, how many of these Dunkins have I had and not enough water? Like you gotta stay hydrated.
Well, there's a reason on Twitch that so many people have a hydrate redeem so that they get reminded to drink water, because it's easy to forget.
Exactly.
Got to take care of your hands.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
So all those little life lessons I have in the book, and it's in the process of being done right now. Kevin's still illustrating some parts of it, but we're getting it approved hopefully very soon, and things are going as smoothly as possible. So I'm very thankful.
Well, congratulations. It's an admirable project, and I'm just like so thrilled to hear that it went so far so quickly. I mean, not that I'm surprised. You have a very dedicated fan base. The people that are watching my stuff and believe in what I'm doing, I'm always super thankful for it. And now it's my job to take what this thing is as far as I can take it to make it. I want to make it a thing. So beyond just so anyways, that's just me. Anyways. No, that's great.
You know, when I was in elementary school, every now and then the bookmobile would come by and you could buy books off the bookmobile. And I don't know if they still have them, but if they do, I hope your book is on the bookmobile.
Yeah, I hope it's a Scholastic Goldberry Newbery Award winner.
So the thing, the pipe dream I have in my head, and you know, with these dreams, you got to manifest them. You got to put them out in the world. You got to see it happen. I want this book to be in Target. That's what I want. I want to do that. I want you to walk down the aisle next to the movies and media section, and I'm on that big giant screen that's like, "Hi, I'm Brian Saviano, and I'm the author of." And then it's a whole bit. That's what I want. So then Scholastic, then whatever.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
And then B. Dalton Books at the mall. Oh, that doesn't exist anymore, does it?
I don't know what that is at all.
Oh
What
my
are you
God.
talking about?
You are 12.
What is Dalton Books?
No, B. Dalton Books used to be that was the bookstore in every single mall ever. like when we were younger. Yeah, it was like
right next to Spencer Gifts.
Yeah, right next to Spencer Gifts, right next to the.
I remember Spencer's.
Spencer's is.
Oh my goodness, we were with babies.
Get your
Spencer's
blacklight
still
poster.
Yeah, where else are you going to go to get your blacklight posters and your, your lava lamp and your, and the section where they had like adult board games, quote unquote, adult board games like Pass Out. Just saying. Anyway,
Spencer's is still in malls. It's still in malls. There's one in the same mall that Lego Store's at. So
there you go. See,
B. Dalton Books, huh?
Yeah, B. Dalton and Walden was the other one. Walden Books.
Walden. I'm familiar with Walden Books.
I remember Walden. Yeah.
Well, but I'm not surprised that some of the members of the panel wouldn't know about these because that was before there were cafes and bookstores. That was before you'd go out and buy fancy coffee.
It's true. There was not a cafe culture then the way that there is.
I was
now.
just explaining that to my almost 14-year-olds actually about like how the coffee shops that I went to as a kid were not. They were like trucker stops.
Holly, you be speaking to true.
Oh my goodness!
Now
Yeah.
I know
Good
4
coffee,
times.
Good coffee and good grits. That's what
You
went
can
through.
sit in the Barnes and Noble within Starbucks. You can write your screenplay. That's what I tried to do. And I went into Barnes and Noble to write some stuff up for the book. And I had a Dunkin' cup, and they were actually like, "Yeah, you can't have that here. You got to get out." I'm like, "Whoa, all right, oh jeez." Okay,
Wow. Well, Brian,
super
that's
serious.
Brian, I made the mistake of owning a Toyota when I interned at Ford and visiting a manufacturing assembly plant with union guys. That's kind of the same thing you're running up against. And it's something you don't do.
Yeah, well, I got a valuable in that day. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Thinking about what brand of coffee, whatever.
did they chase you out of the store?
No, they were like, you can go sit in that section across the way, but you can't sit in here. I'm like, oh, I'll just go to the mall. Bye. And then I did my thing. That's it.
All right. Well, there you go. An origin.
I was imagining he was getting brushed off stage by a giant hook.
Basically, that's what it felt like.
Yeah. Or they come out with a big broom and they just start swiffering around it.
And that's when I said, like, do you have any idea that a Brick's O'Brien? And they're like shuffling me off.
I am.
Right.
They're like Bricks Waha who?
Brick's who?
Bricks ho. Anywho.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Excellent that this is happening for you. I think that's such a fun project and a glorious purpose, if I may say so.
And you picked a really fun illustrator too. What dynamic images he
Kevin
makes.
is so amazing.
Richard, you have no idea the process of I had the process of getting this book done and what the illustrations were going to be before Kevin showed up. There's going to be a behind the scenes kind of development podcast that me and Kevin are going to do, explaining the whole story. And I'm telling you, the story of like especially that aspect is worth the price of paying for the book.
Do we get to see your like original sketches?
Holly, I think you would appreciate it a lot. Actually, they're good. They're good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, Lego. So,
How about that Lego?
What's that brick thing? Yeah,
How about that Lego?
Monica Berry, you're killing me here. That it's like a meme likening them to an escape room for introverts.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Bookstores.
Oh, Monica
Axel
Berry,
said, "I can't enter a bookstore, even in the smallest. I will spend an hour." It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love a good bookstore, I gotta say, and haven't been able to go to one in a while.
I had the pleasure of witnessing that firsthand.
Oh, really?
Richard Flynn. Don't you remember Holly took us to that ridiculously oversized bookstore?
Yeah. Didn't you guys go to Powell's?
Oh, that's right.
How did you forget that?
It's like a time warp. You walk into Powell's, next thing you know, it's like a week later when you walk out of there.
Well, I mean, just to walk through it takes an hour. Like, that's not even stopping and looking at anything.
It's so big I got lost.
Yeah. And the funny thing is
it is sort of like the wild drug of bookstores.
Yeah. And there's like smaller ones too. Like we have like a smaller house. It's an independent bookstore, but it's like a local, not a chain, but like they have a couple of smaller, what do you call them? Like satellite stores around. So we have one nearby, and it's this. Even though it's like a fraction of the size, it's the same thing. You walk in there, and by the time you come out, it's like, you don't know what year it is. It's wild.
Well,
Well,
it's
you know
a
what you
little
need?
like
You need to follow Brian's healthy habits for gamers when you walk
I
into
think
a
I
bookstore.
do. Or healthy habits for readers, maybe. I don't know.
Otherwise, you're going to walk out of there looking like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Guilty.
well, I think
You've drawn a smiley face onto a book that you're talking to on your way out. Yes.
As long as it's my book, that's fine.
Her lips are all chapped. She's got like the sun shines and it hurts her eyes. She's gone full Nosferatu at that point.
I think the thing about making it through a bookstore is imagine if you went to a giant Lego store and they allowed you to open the box and look through the pieces before you bought it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
That's what it is. Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's dangerous.
That is very dangerous. How many bags in here? Are they paper or plastic?
The first feeling of the bag is free, but after that,
Yeah. I feel really bad that we have neglected our library membership, but you really don't need the library when you can just go to the bookstore
Yeah,
and
right.
read.
Don't
Especially
ever
for my
say you
kids.
don't need the library, Holly. We will not have that kind of anti-library talk on this show.
I know, but my daughter goes through the graphic novels
Wow.
and stuff so fast that I could just take her to the bookstore. She can sit there and read 3 of them. And I'm like, I'm glad we didn't bother checking those out or buying.
of all the rules to hold on this show, this in the library happens to be the first one in all these years.
Yes, no, you
And
cannot.
don't be a jerk. Don't be a
Library.
jerk was always number one. But yeah.
I am a big proponent of the library.
I am too. Yeah.
Now, see, that is a lofty goal, Brian, is to have your book in the library.
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
Congress.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Well, I plan on making book donations to all the cities that have had some sort of impact on me in the North Shore. So it's at least a dozen or so already that I have in mind. But yeah, Library of Congress, the New York Public Library, Boston Public Library. You got to shoot high. You
And
gotta shoot
Target.
high, exactly.
And Target.
And Target. That's a big one. That's a big fish.
I'll say. Well, I actually have some cool Lego stuff to talk about. Well, in a minute.
Tell.
So we're about to have a pause. But if you were on my Twitch stream on Tuesday, then you will know that I got delivery of the entire lineup of Video 2 Bandmates figures.
What?
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Which I was pretty darn excited about.
Oh my God.
But we will take a look. And again, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but I am dying. Okay, maybe I was wrong when I said that I thought video would eventually do really well because then they canceled it. But I will tell you this, I was not wrong when I said all of these people poo-pooing video when it's finally gone are going to be screaming and pulling out their hair and saying, why didn't I get them? And then they're going to pay absurd prices for the figs. And guess what?
Yep.
Guess what's happening now?
That was an easy prediction.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, but everyone, it is time for that special time of the show. It is time for the pause that refreshes. That's right, everybody. It's Logan Cookie time. Oh my goodness, he's
freaking out.
on one today.
Well, you said the word pause a couple of minutes ago.
I know.
Okay, see? Say hi to everyone. Hi.
Yay, Logan.
Okay, they're kind of big. You
Woohoo!
Good boy. Okay, and last
And one more.
What? Stay. Boop. There you go.
Good boy,
We gotta get back to
Logan.
that one.
And it looks like Skittles is here.
Oh, Skittles is hydrating.
Everybody. Everybody. Look over here. Look over here. Go over here. Oh, this one.
Yay.
Easily distracted.
We got kitties today.
Yeah, Sleepy Muffin. Say hi, Sleepy Muffin. I'm so sleepy.
Oh, barely keep their eyes open.
Oh, I'm so sleepy. And we've got. Wait, what is this terrifying visage?
Oh no!
Oh my god.
What a throwback with the Beanie Baby. Oh no!
You're like the Cookie Monster of dinosaurs. You just like stick stuff in your mouth and it just falls out the sides, and that's okay. Oh my goodness. And that has been just looking. Always guaranteed to be a surreal experience. So, let's talk some Video 2 bandmates.
You got a ton of beat bits in there.
There are lots of beat bits in here. All right, so now I gotta say they've continued on with the amazing pieces and the amazing quality of minifigs in this series. Now, I know you have. Just in general? I'm curious. What is your take, Brian, on the takedown, if you will, of video?
I think Lego has always tried to do something digital, and they've needed to do that because a lot of the attention with younger people is in the technology, and you can sink hours into a game like Minecraft. They got to do something like that, and video was them trying to hit on that virality, music infused TikTok sort of thing, but they couldn't scale that, and it didn't work. So when the products came out, they were overpriced to compensate for the music license, although the character designs are some of the best original character designs I've ever seen Lego do in the past at least 10 years that were so cool, unique, vivid that I really like them. I have everything except Bandmate Series 2 through me, getting stuff through Beyond the Brick and all that. So I have a good chunk of them. But for me, I can't be bothered to buy that second series. It didn't draw me in enough like that. So I don't think there's any chance it comes back. I think it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
And now 5 years from now, you're going to try to buy those Series 2 figures. You're going to pay a good chunk. So
I know. It's my retirement. Yes.
At least that's Series 2, because as far as I knew, there wasn't a solid way to walk into a store and get them. Ever.
Yeah. You couldn't. They never showed up. I mean, at least
they were on for like an hour. Is what I heard. They were on the website for like an hour, and then there were very limited physical stores.
And I never saw them in the stores.
Well, I feel very, very fortunate to have gotten my hands on this set of them. And okay, first of all, can we just all agree that this is probably the best one?
I would respectfully disagree.
Oh, here we go.
Because you got the booger monster a part of that wave that I think is the best. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. That
pretty cool.
Pretty amazing.
I don't know.
That headpiece.
I'm a fan of this one.
That's another good one.
Yes, with those wings, with those exactly. Those wings are pretty epic.
The wings were one of the few pieces that were available online on the website.
I think I did get the wings.
That's another great
one. That one I don't have, and I really want to get one.
Pink gummy bear. Awesome.
Is the name of the guitarist Marceline?
I know it looks like Marceline, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, these aren't my favorites, but I gotta hand it to them for making his head look like one of the beatboxes. It's got the little strap on it and everything. It's very funny.
Very Daft Punk in a way.
Yes. Well, those are clearly modeled after that for sure. But yeah, it's a really, really fun, cute series.
They have the wings.
They're cool, but I have a very difficult time understanding how I could mix and match the heads and torsos into my own personal characters.
Really?
Because of the vibrant color?
Well, yeah, and the patterns don't. I mean, each character is very distinct in and of itself. But what I like to do is when I go through characters, is think about how I could make my own characters from them. And it's really hard for me when I look at that to decide how I'd swap stuff around to come up with my own unique thing that was different than what they were trying to emote?
I don't know. I mean, like this, I would push back a little bit on that. I think that like this torso is pretty. I mean, I don't want to say generic, but it's like a little hoodie with like candy. Like that's pretty good. Now, the only issue I can kind of see is that it has that open neckline with the pink.
Yeah.
You could say that they're just wearing a pink T-shirt underneath of their hoodie. And I know how much you love hoodies.
I do.
I'd say some of the characters have this sort of like overarching pattern that could be a little hard to mesh with other things. But
Yeah, I wasn't talking about the hoodie.
on the
I was
other hand,
thinking
some of
like-
the other parts are totally universal, like whether it's wings or hats or
This
the
cowgirl outfit's pretty amazing, gotta say, with the boots.
You know what? This kind of reminds me, going back to a conversation we had last week where we were talking about sort of the different approaches that we all take to building. It occurred to me later that sort of the way that Blair was explaining the way that he kind of tinkers with things and finds new connections and whatever, and the way that I work, it's almost like some of us build. It's like we find the solution first, and then the problem. Whereas I have the problem and then have to find the solution. So it's like it's kind of that same way when you look at like minifig parts and stuff like that, where like. For me, like I just want to have those parts available so that when I need that one part or I need that to find that one thing, that I'm like, oh yeah, I know the thing, and then I can go get it, and I have like a reference for that. But then there's also the approach. It's like, oh, let's go mix and match all this stuff together and see what we get, and then that spawns other ideas. It's kind of funny, right? Yeah.
And I feel like
glad you highlighted that.
Yeah.
And some of the limitations I feel like are reminiscent of maybe Chima, where you have this representative skin of some sort of creature or character that is on each and every piece, and then that makes it difficult to find someone else that it works for. But like Holly said, when there's a call for that specific piece, though, it's the perfect piece.
Yeah.
And like you, Flynn, I mean, working with kids and letting them have access to thousands of minifig parts, I did see some combinations that I never would have thought of before, where they just honed in on a certain aspect of that, like printed leg or torso or armor, that worked really well with another one just based on maybe one color alone.
Yeah.
And they were able to draw like 3 different things with sand green together. I saw some really good like Frankenstein's monster, Statue of Liberty, kind of combinations, maybe a little bit of Medusa going on in there. Yeah, and they came up with some really cool stuff. But when you see it originally, you might think it's really limited. But it's amazing what ingenious connections people can come up with.
Yeah. Well, and then of course it always shifts. Like I know my son last night was building and he was looking for kind of a specific torso. He's like, oh, I need sort of like a medieval torso for this. So I pointed him to my cup of torsos. And then I came down and then I heard him over here going, oh, well, maybe this could work. Or actually I could, this is pretty epic. And then, of course I come down here this morning and there's just torsos all over my table because he just run wild with it. It's pretty fun.
You know what it reminds me of is you ever stand in front of a jumble and you're going to be picking out bricks and you say, oh, now I'm looking for purple ones. And suddenly, a bunch of purple ones stand out from the whole field. It's like if you're suddenly looking for bar connections, and you have a ton of stuff, you might see bar connections that you never thought of before. It's just that, having that focus, and those kids, seem to have that focus on those connections.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say we're definitely having a little bit of trouble finding a variety of sort of like Greco-Roman style minifigs for our current piece that we're doing. Like there's not a whole lot of togas available. I mean, there's some stuff, but trying to really kind of hone in on that and get specific ones.
Can you like makeshift a toga out of
probably
like what about like a white cape and some of the white rubber bands or something?
Yeah,
there's some like ice goddess figures that have like white, bottoms to their dresses, and
there's a few. I'm just saying, like as far as there's only like maybe 2 or 3 actual minifigs that encompass that particular style, whereas medieval is there's a lot more, right, to choose from.
Oh, don't you remember that announcement about the Toga Battle Pack that they're releasing in the spring?
Wait, what?
No.
That was from the Animal House set.
Oh, the Animal House set. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, that
Right,
Lego
right.
Ideas Animal House.
Lego Ideas set that's coming out, right?
Oh, wait, we're not supposed to talk about that. It's under embargo.
The Animal House. Now I get it. See, I thought that was going to be an Animal Crossing set. Now I know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Actually, speaking of Animal Crossing and video,
Always speaking of Animal
there was and I don't know if it's still there or not, but they did a Lego Video Dream Island that you can go to.
I played it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, played it. I mean, they did what they could with with the available things that you can do in Animal Crossing. Like, they didn't like reinvent the wheel or anything. So, but I thought it was an interesting, weird collaboration.
So I can't help but feel so incredibly salty at the fact that we get.
You could just put a period right there. You could just put the period after salty.
We get this overly complex, we're going to put so much care and consideration into this Lego Video Island, but then the only Nintendo inkling thing that we get at all is this, with no Animal Crossing anything in sight. And I'm like, why is there such a complex island for this theme that's already dead? Okay.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, it looks like they did kind of. It does look like they abandoned it. Sort of,
now.
Like at the point that you could tell at the point that they were like, oh, actually, video, we're not doing this anymore, because they put effort into the island, but then only up to a certain point, and then it just looks like, okay, actually, let's just duplicate all this stuff 100 times.
Yep. I did appreciate though how they made like little areas for each of the different themes of video. Like, I did appreciate that a lot, and I thought that they made good use again of like what Animal Crossing has to offer to make it more like in the style of what they wanted. I mean, I did appreciate it from that point of view.
I have no idea what this island is that you're talking about.
Yeah, I have to go check out pictures of it or something.
Oh yeah, so in Animal Crossing, it's really weird. But you can like go lay down in your bed, and then it says, do you just want to sleep or do you want to like have a nap? But if you say you want to sleep, there is people can upload their islands as a dream island, and you can go visit other people's islands.
No, I meant for video. I never saw that aspect of the game.
Yeah, so they created one for video, and you have to know the name of it. I think it's called like Video Land, and
you have to have the number for it.
Yeah, so you type in Video Land, and you'll go and visit it, and it was like a whole island that had different themes. Although I had to laugh because some of the ways they got around some of the normal Animal Crossing stuff, because they had to work within those parameters, is like all of the actual Animal Crossing villagers that lived there are all like penned up in their houses in fences that won't let them out to roam around, and every once in a while you kind of see them like in their tiny yards walking around like hoping to get out somewhere. Too much.
Did each Animal Crossing character come with a number, like the prisoner, and there was big glowing orbs that would kill people?
Yeah, they're big glowing white balls that chase you around for some reason.
Well, I bet we're going to see video characters come back in other ways, like in
bold statement.
Okay, and
you sound like a Star Wars fan now.
No, he's not angry enough. He's not complaining enough to be a Star Wars fan.
I'm just going to give a disclaimer right now. I say dumb stuff all the time on this show, and I have no secret knowledge. There's people who know what's on the land. There's people who know what's coming. I have no knowledge. So if I say something, like I'm just saying, we should, No,
where did that go?
No, I ran out of steam there. I got so involved in the secret knowledge. I lost that thread there.
So
They need some more coffee.
Help me out here. Throw me a lifesaver.
I don't know. You swam out way too far for the lifesaver at this point. So you reached the end of the path, like the path just ended at a wall.
Well, just give me the thread of where we were headed. I'm getting you coffee.
Do some of this.
There we go.
Open bag.
There was somewhere I was going there.
I love Axel Plate says, even if you say dumb stuff 100 times, one of those times it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's the philosophy of my life.
True.
Woo!
Like that though, saved by the bag. That'll be our new feature when.
No, I was going to talk about something that's coming.
Saved by the bag. Saved by the bag. Yes. Oh, sorry.
When the rabbit hole gets too deep, I'll just.
You'll always know if you've gone too far when the crinkling bag starts.
Forgot to mute.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Whoa, Lego stage show.
So you were making a bold statement, if I remember correctly, before things went south, that you thought that we would see video figures come back in some way.
Yeah, thank you.
Brian immediately puffed out his chest and got big. So I'm ready for this showdown.
Well, here, I'll make this point real quick. I think they're going to come back whether we see posters of them in modulars coming out, or if we see them in a future video game. I think these characters are too cool and too beautifully designed for them to just disappear now. They're coming back in some way.
Some sort of reemergence as like an Easter egg or something, right?
Well, we've seen that a lot, right?
It's like Bionicle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Galador.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Galador, you say that, but
I said it for real.
Galador did make a referenced comeback in the recent modular building.
Right.
That had a piece of, Picasso-esque art based on the most horrific of all Galador toys, the McDonald's Galador toy.
Well, so I'm curious for the panel here. Do you think there's going to be more Lego video games? I certainly do, and I think they'll be successful.
Well, video games is different, I think, than what video and Hidden Side were.
An AR
when you're talking about the AR app thing.
Yeah, do you mean like an app integrated into your belt, or are you talking about like the Skywalker Saga stuff that's really popular?
I think we're going to see more AR. It's not going away. It's gonna permeate the culture, and I think Lego is going to have a foot in the door already.
But they've also been burned twice now. Hidden Side and video.
But they have to keep moving forward, because that's what beyond all else with the toys for kids, it's all in phones and tablets, and that's where a lot of that attention is. So they have to do something that gets their attention there. And I'm not just saying it because I'm obviously a big Mario fan, but I think the Mario app experience is one of the better ones in that a lot of the technology is in this thing, right? And you don't need this to play with Mario, update it, whatever, but there's a little bit of app functionality in there. So if they can do more things that don't rely on the app experience the entire way through, I think there's something there, better integrating it. But yeah, Hidden Side and video flopped for those other reasons. I think this is a pretty good medium.
Yeah, I think I've said pretty much the same thing that Brian said about it. Like exactly that. Like as long as the AR is not the main feature or the main focus, I don't think their technology department is like I'm sure that they have like
go outside the company. No one, I don't know who they're working with internally or maybe a close external partner. They're not cutting it. Like you got to get something more up to snuff with what modern mobile game development is, some studio or something.
Yeah, but I think they have like a technology team, and I'm sure that they're experimenting with all different kinds of technology. I don't think it's all just about AR or all just about VR or whatever. I'm sure they're exploring and trying lots of different things, and they've integrated AR not just into the products, but like even in the stores. And I wouldn't say that failed. Like I think that's successful to some degree. I mean, it's a good use of it, I should say.
I think sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that there's ways that they can keep incorporating it, like Brian said, where it's not the main focus, but it's an added feature, and as long as that's not causing, inflation in the prices or any major shift from what they already do well, then we should all embrace it. Like,
It needs
sure,
to be a
just,
complementary
Yeah.
experience, not a
Exactly.
integral experience.
an additive bonus.
Mhm.
Great. Yeah,
And
we
that's
just
how
don't
you
wanna-
start, and then you get better over time with it.
Yeah,
So
I
this is
think they'll keep going. Yeah, they're going to keep exploring and keep trying new things. And I think, like I said, I think we should be happy for it because we wouldn't have Mindstorms, we wouldn't have Technic, we wouldn't
Right.
have half the things that we have if they weren't continuously doing R&D. So
Well, I would
bring it on.
like to see the approach to their software because it makes me think about how many types of like young girl-centered figures did they produce before finally getting it right with the mini doll,
Sure.
right? Constantly trying, constantly failing, and then they put what, $1 billion of research into the mini doll. I forget what it was, but it was a lot of money.
wow.
It takes a lot of R&D to finally hit that sweet spot and extend out and make something different successful. So I think Friends was successful. I would hope that the same amount of dedication, research, and resources are put into the software side to try to crack it.
Well,
It's not an easy thing. It really isn't.
It's
I
not.
gotta say, I was kind of going back to the comment I put up from David. Is I loved Dimensions.
Me too.
There was a lot to love about it, and it's really a shame that it came too late in the game.
Mhm.
Like the whole Toys to Life thing was already like kind of
On the way
Fade
out.
out.
on the way out when that happened. But it was so delightful and had so many awesome minifigs. Like obviously they weren't like designed to the nth degree like these were, but come on, like
Some of
those
them
good-
were. Some of them were.
Yeah, some of them
Yeah.
were, but like the Goonies ones was great. Like having the Gremlins, like all being able to have all of those licenses that you wouldn't normally see. And frankly, I found the levels that they created for those one-off characters were so much fun. Like just being able to be in those places.
Did you need a console to play it?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I'm not familiar with it at all.
Yeah, but again, that was already like one of those things that there was already a market for that, so they were just sort of chasing that market. It was already well established, which I do kind of feel like is where Lego tends to
Yes.
struggle because it's a moving target, and the development time for Lego always takes so long because again, it's not really their bread and butter, and so they can't quite be on the cutting edge like so much of their competition, and so that's what makes it problematic.
The tech and the tech and the attention moves much more quickly than anything Lego develops internally for their products.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things that has been tough for me, that was tough for me about Dimensions, is I loved the video game, but I feel like when you go from the screen to physical bricks in your hand, it's a hard transition.
Oh yeah,
Because the way I play with those two things is very different. I did like that you could build a little vehicle and then ride around on it on screen. That was,
but it was
super fun.
awkward. It was awkward.
I think it's because it took you out of the gameplay if you didn't do it first. Like we would tend to build all of the parts and components and things first, and then we played the game. So because as soon as we got the set, that's all I was interested in anyway, was building the little micro build and having the little figure. So I was so excited about it anyway. But the way the problem with it was the way that they made they didn't make the instructions accessible. They wanted you to build it through the game. Was that right? That was weird. I think that was the mistake that they made. They should have just, again, packaged it like any other Lego set. So when you bought it, you didn't necessarily have to play the game to enjoy it or to build it,
Well,
like what would have been more marketable.
I love, there were some Dimensions that I bought simply because the IP was so tantalizing I couldn't get anywhere else. So like Adventure Time, I have a Jake and Finn just because of Dimensions. I could care less about the play experience. The little blue cylinder, that thing went right out the window. As long as I had my Jake and my Finn, I was good. I have a feeling like Goonies, or Gremlins. Sorry, everybody wants their Gremlin, and that's the only way to get it.
Or the Goonies. They did Goonies too. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying is there's something about those IPs that people really, really would have probably almost like a CMF series.
Well,
we would've gotten
that's what it
regardless.
was. That's what it was to me. The only problem is, again, going back to the pricing. Those kits were more expensive because they were made for a game. Now they were competitive, as far as like, again, that for what they were made for, and the other games, I forget what they call those. There's a name for those games that came with the
Toys to Life.
Toys to Life. Thank you. So it was competitively priced for Toys to Life games, but as a Lego set, like if you're just getting one figure in a little micro build for something you'd normally pay less than $10 for, sometimes the same for like $15 and up.
It was rough.
You know what? Toys to Life sounds like the band you would get when you couldn't afford Boys to Men or something. It's like the horrible knockoff version of Boys to Men. It's Toys to Life, you know, and they're not quite. Their harmony's a little off. They're not quite in that zone. And presenting Toys to Life.
Now, Brian, since you've been doing games for so long, were you involved in any other like Toys to Life games before Dimensions, or did you get into Dimensions? What was it? Tell me your history there.
Dimensions
Brian
is
was
my
like 10
favorite.
when that came out.
No, yeah. Dimensions is my favorite Lego video game because all the other Lego video games are the same formula. Walk up to a thing, mash the A button, mash the B button. Cool. But at least in that game, you got more intellectual properties combined into one roof than I think will ever happen ever again because of all that coordination. So I love that. And it was the only way you were going to get an ET minifigure or Mr. T. When's the next time you get a Mr. T minifigure? Never in your life. So you're welcome for Dimensions. I was big into Amiibo, which is the Nintendo figures that they had a whole Super Smash Brothers line of. Also a little bit of Disney Infinity, but and those were just not whatever. So Amiibo were the big thing, but those are also Nintendo statuettes, basically. Really well done statues. And even if you had Lego Dimensions, you could still use all of that brick with general minifigures and mocks and whatever. So it still had some utility even outside of the game and the figure itself, which is where I think Disney Infinity kind of fell short because it's just no other utility outside of it. So yeah, it's expensive to get those figures now, but I think that opened up a lot more opportunities for more things that you'll probably never see ever again. Like how would they coordinate a Mission Impossible Lego set nowadays? Like so you got it. There you go.
Knight Rider.
Yeah, I mean, but the Knight Rider, like I could see that being like a ultimate collector's car one day, right?
Sure.
Like that could be, but like, yeah, you're not getting a Mission Impossible. What are you going to make a Mission Impossible set of? Like,
never say never.
Well, we have a friend who is not a Lego fan at all, just not against Lego, just not a fan, but absolutely would want the Knight Rider set.
As long as when the Mission Impossible set comes out, it has a video reference built into it for Richard's sake, then I think we can all agree that will happen.
And why not? You know?
Oh God.
Well, you know what? I think what really, when I really knew that, oh yes, Darren, the Beetlejuice one was pretty amazing. Gotta say, that is one of my favorite Dimensions figs. But when they at least they did here in California, and I know a few other places, is when they started showing up at the dollar store.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there was an opportunity to get those without paying the steep price.
Our lug
opportunity, nay, we say madness.
Yes.
Do you remember, Cara? Our lug went nuts when that happened.
The entire West Coast went completely bonkers.
Yes.
To the point where one of our lug members bought an entire pallet. He went to the dollar store.
Wow.
And bought an entire pallet.
So all I'm hearing is go to the dollar store and buy up all your video Wave 2s.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't think that there's enough. I don't think that they're going to show up.
That's not happening.
Blair goes with I was making a joke, and then Blair goes, "Oh, there's not enough volume, man."
I mean, it would be amazing. I mean, wouldn't it? Like, I missed out on so much Dimension stuff. I'm lucky I have what I have because the price was so high, and that they didn't show up at clearance places up here in Oregon. So
didn't. Yeah,
we were watching everybody else buy them up, and I was just like, I would like one Portal figure, please.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I see people with like 80 of them, and I'm like, okay, it's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened or what facilitated that to happen, but
We weren't so lucky though.
It was magic.
My favorite quote of the week. I still have crates of Wicked Witch under my
Yeah.
If you've done it right, then you would. Yeah.
And you know it's true.
You did. I actually did. Oh my goodness. Yes. Sorry, I keep wanting to float back to Animal Crossing. I think must stop. But by the way, in Animal Crossing, speaking of witches, have you seen the magic circle floor yet? There's there's a rug, but there's also a floor.
I haven't seen the floor.
It is the best thing ever. When you leave the room, when you walk back in the room, it like glows with green light and like these like things come out of it. It's so awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
Why do I not have that?
And there's also a wallpaper with candles all over it. And the candles go out when you turn the lights out. And then when you turn them back on, all the candles come on. It's pretty
Are those like new Sahara offerings or something?
Maybe. Yeah, possible. I don't remember where I got it from. I just was decorating a room and I was like, oh, this candle wall looks really cool. And then that magic floor. I left the room and came back in and it started glowing and I was all over it.
Yeah, I need that.
But yeah.
Good thing you didn't go back to Animal Crossing.
I know. I can't help it. It's been a thing lately.
Blair, not to change the subject, but Blair, what are you up to?
Currently, the last few episodes, I have been actually making it the build and chat. So I've been working like Holly on a bunch of sets that this amazing live stream that we're a part of convinced me to buy before I worked at the Lego store. And so I'm going through the back catalog and building up the Winnie the Pooh house right now.
Oh, nice.
You know, I thought that would also be appropriate if I finish it today because then I can add my superb owl.
Yay!
For me personally, the Winnie the Pooh set is the number one sweetest set, hands down. I can't think of a set that just gives me more heartwarming feelings than the Winnie the Pooh set.
And it's got some really, really cool stuff going on in it. For having seen the original model and knowing how the ideas process goes, like they turned this into an advanced build. Mm-hmm. So they're not joking around when they say it is an expert type build.
That's
it's got some really cool techniques in it.
Yeah.
What's a technique you have in mind?
Oh my gosh! I mean,
the trees are crazy.
The tree was really interesting. The snot work inside that, just the way that they have the compartment on the back for the little house opening up and how tight it all is, but still retains so much detail. Using the little like minifig light stand things to do the angles on the leaves, and it's rife with awesome techniques, and it's so dense. I'm really impressed. I mean, for me, it's like the Sesame Street one though, where the minifigs alone are worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
Although I'm still a little sad. I kind of wish Pooh Bear had a belly. Like they had done with Elmer, like from the dwarves, how he had the belly. It would have been cool if he had like a belly.
Yeah, I agree.
But still.
But I think for the price point on that set, they were already making. They already broke so many rules for ideas.
Loads of recolors and printed elements, and they did a great job.
That green coral for the tree was just a stroke of genius. I thought it was so beautiful.
And I've ordered a bunch extra of that too. So it's good stuff.
Oh yes,
love it. Oh my goodness. Well, friends, I think before we depart today, it is time to share some favorite minifigs. Look, I remembered this time.
Yay! Really?
I purposely made it at the end so that we could talk about it. All right, so let's see who has got a favorite minifig. It's going to be who's going first. Kara's raising her hand.
Okay, I pulled this out before the stream started, before we started talking about this So I'm going to show the Angry Birds fig,
Oh.
particularly because this is the best pirate hat. It's like pirate foodie, right?
That
With
is
the fork
that
and
is
the
a pretty
knife.
good pirate hat.
I love this hat so much. But, plus he has toes and he's got a tail.
Plus, he has toes.
He's got a little butt and a tail and a little bow molded in. So he's kind of a cute little monster. I don't know Angry Birds. I've never played it. I've never seen the movie, but he's a cute little monster. So,
All right. Let's see. Blair.
Yeah, I grabbed something in relation to that awesome new set that's announced. We have Mr. Arnold and his best friend.
Yeah.
So very excited that we're getting our second official Jurassic Park set. So
Very
fingers
cool.
crossed, maybe they'll do a nice little Jeep set sometime in a future wave to go with it.
Brian.
All this talk of video games and dimensions, I have Sonic.
Yay!
Very
Sonic on a
nice.
sunflower. It's the new elf on a
Yeah.
shelf.
There we go. with not, it's not a ring, it's a toilet seat or a buoy instead of it being a power ring he gets, I guess.
Sonic on a hydrophonic.
But yeah, that's my minifigure.
Okay, by the way, sorry to go back to Animal Crossing again, but I was going to go do a vacation home today, and I was talking to, you walk around and they say, I would like a house that's like this. I walked up to a guy and he said, I'd love to have a house with toilets everywhere.
oh no.
That's great.
I am not
You
joking.
gotta go.
He wants a house full of toilets. All right.
Well, obviously, it's someone from Lego City who just has learned the error of their ways by not having any.
Well, I was going to say, if it was from Lego City, they're like, I would like a house that is constantly being robbed and on fire.
Right.
Okay,
And
Moto.
that is expensive
But that's why
road.
they want the vacation home.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yay.
beauty.
Look at the quality of the prints. That's the big thing.
Wow,
Nice.
that's so nice.
Did you get
Looks
those in a bulk block?
fantastic.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Cool.
So I got that one in Beta 1 Command Base. So I'm really happy.
Nice.
Wow. Gorgeous.
Well, the boxes are in great shape too.
I love
Pretty
it.
good too. Yeah. So in the back in the before times,
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
With the plastic.
use this box for storage.
Right. Yeah.
You really don't see that anymore.
No.
I wish we had a box that all of our Lego would fit in.
Mhm. All
A
that
box.
It would be a very large box.
Do you remember when a medium-sized Lego set was 155 pieces?
Wow.
Do you remember that? No.
Medium.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Here we go. It's our turn.
Okay.
You ready?
Well, I keep showing similar ones. I was gonna do Dukelin from
Oh yay.
Elves, but
He's
I think
awesome.
I've already shown him. He's one of my favorites. So we're gonna go here.
Oh, yeah.
That one is so good.
Check out those epaulets.
Check out those abs
Nice.
and that
There
hat.
you go, and wrist jewelry. There you go.
Wow.
Darren Siegfried says a D&D box of holding. And Monica says, stop
That's what
calling
I
our
want.
house a box. And mine is from Monkey Kid,
Ooh.
That's
with
Oh,
Silent
yes.
Queen,
What a great.
Yeah,
which is
she's
such a great
awesome.
set. And I gotta say, we were discussing how we were going to be making some of our figures for our new Lego house piece. And I was like, when we make our Hades minifig for the underworld, he needs to be wearing this hat, this amazing spider hat, which of course is somewhat reminiscent of Hela's from Thor, who is Queen of the Underworld. So kind of makes sense. It all fits. It all fits. But yeah,
I should show mine. I didn't show one.
Sorry, Holly. Yeah,
please do.
I was busy building, so just proof that he does have his claws.
Yeah.
I wasn't
recovered.
joking.
That is one rancorous rancor right there.
Wow. Very nice.
What kid can resist?
Well, you
Evidently,
puppeted
no.
him
No
almost
kid
as
can
good as you
resist.
do Skittles.
What?
I said you puppeted that Rancor almost as good as you puppet Skittles.
Oh,
It's
yeah, which is
amazing.
not very.
No, wait a second. Oh, oh, okay. Mine's built in correctly. They put an extra finger stub on the
Scandal.
Oh yeah, that's
You
for
should be glad because for a long time that piece was really hard to get in the dark tan.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
think this is my extra
Preservation
in
technique.
case Holly's son comes by. There's a backup one.
He's a little older now. He
Are you
knows
talking
better.
about that? Are you talking about the are you talking about the dark tan claw piece?
Yeah, that
Mhm.
color is very hard to find.
Yes.
It was a very rare.
Yeah,
color
which is
mix
why
for
I
that.
told him when he wanted to play with it, I was like, "Do not take these claws off."
Well, you know, it was also hard to find. Another color in that's hard to find is orange,
Mhm.
which I speak from experience because when Yana was making her Blair minifig, she wanted to use those as his mustache,
That's
and we had a hard time tracking two of them down. It was very-
I did find some replacements for you if you need them.
Oh, very good. Right on. They live with Blair now. They live with Mini Blair now. And that's okay. So, oh my goodness. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. Another fun, rambling Sunday. We've gone down many paths, some of which stopped early.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Rabbit holes galore. Speaking of
Rabbit.
Awesome to have Brian back hanging out. And once again, best of luck with your book. And everybody, maybe, Cara, you could put up that link again in the chat for the Kickstarter for Brian's book project.
Thank you very
Got it.
much. Appreciate it being here too. Thank you.
Super fun. Super fun.
Oh, that's right. And Brick Jedi points out some people today are watching sports ball.
Oh, that's right. There's some kind of sports ball thing happening today, I heard.
There is.
Which is why I'm going to go to a not sports ball gathering.
Yes.
Owl.
That is a really good owl. You know what? I want to get the owl that came with the there's like a sleeping set that has an owl that's like a bit more Disneyfied than that might look good with that also.
The
True.
friends like one, yes.
But yeah. Anywho, well, yeah, go sports team. Exactly.
I love it. I love it because I can shop in any densely populated place and blow through there, save a ton of time.
Right. On today, yes, today of all days. Oh, and yes, Wilfred reminds me. Thank you, Wilfred, for the reminder that sports also reminds us that the Olympics are going on, and in honor of the Winter Olympics, we are doing a winter sports build challenge that's due this Thursday. What will you do for your winter sports build challenge?
Winter squats, yes.
I am. Ken, is it the pointy ball one?
I believe it is.
The pointy ball or the round ball? The orange ball
Pointy
or
ball.
the black
That
and white
doesn't
ball? Oh my goodness. Well, thank you to our panel. Thank you to Brian. Thank you to everybody out there in YouTube Landia for coming by and hanging out with us today. We'll be back on Tuesday on Twitch, building some more stuff on the Lego house piece. And Friday will be our checking out everybody's winter sports builds. I expect to see lots of the new ice skating fig, because from what I can from everybody's reactions when we ranked those minifigs, there was plenty of them out there for you to get. if you need them. Thank you, Rex, for joining us today as well.
Your toothy commentary.
And until next time, don't forget to stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, wear your mask, get that vaccine, get that booster shot, and we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Happy building.
Jurassic World. Jeez.